Thank you for the hot meat. %, Johnny. How, Tando, thank you. Thank you so much for the gifts. Appreciate you. Tando, thank you so much. Thank you, Tando, for the roses. The roses. Where are those songs? See if they work. Lungisi, how are you? Thank you for sharing the live, Tando. What? No. Into yangihlanyela. Futhi. Nothing was even the same. Nothing more. Oh, Spear. Welcome. If you're still here. Oh, you vanished. No. So the last video, I was editing it. So I made the live stream for members, and then I edited a version people can actually watch. So it's there. I don't know why you're still seeing the members only one. Let's see. So this is private, you see. So you should be seeing this one. Yeah, so it's there. Apologies for the confusion, guys. Yeah, we're finishing it up. Thank you for the hot me. Uh, what was I checking? Yes, we're doing the calculator. So we're currently on. I just promise my live is restricted again. Might have to close it and start it again. Then that will wait out for me. Maybe I shouldn't show this because I think I'm reproducing content. I'm so first to that. Yeah. Because I'm not gonna get numbers at all. Yes, I am. It, I moved it out because I was just editing a part out, and then I posted it so that people can download it. Okay, guys, I'll quickly end the TikTok live and start it again because I'm restricted at the moment. So let's see quickly. Oh, that's actually so close. Now, why is it so low? 1 minute past. Damn, the camera is 22. 1 minute past. The live is not eligible for because directs people off the platform. Don't try. Go get the back. The completion. Get it how you I'll find out. I'll find out. I didn't even check it out. Let me check it out quickly. Yeah. Okay, that means I think you have to have access to the IT Varsity LMS. Yeah, I think you need to have access to the IT Varsity LMS. I think that's the thing a lot of people are struggling to do because basically that means you need to send an email. Is it here? App Academy at IT Varsity or info at App of the Year to ask for some assistance because you need to have access to the LMS. I don't have access because I wasn't a student, so I don't have access to the LMS. Okay, cool. I was going to do cool. Is this Josephus? Josephus, how are you, bro? Ah, Flame Ferg, how are you, my brother? Been a long time, yo. Very, very long time. Okay, so let's continue with this calculator app. I think we're in lesson 5 now. Things are perfect. Things are perfect. Thanks for asking. Bots. I'm tired. I am tired. Very tired. Okay. Damn. Savannah, I can't paste that. Guys, can we start? People will find us in between. Is it the same one on the site or is this app wise? Or should I say is the one you told me about just now? No success is such. Cool. Uh let's start. So if you have not caught up, you can download the repo. That is crazy. That is crazy. Can't you upgrade like in a staging environment or something like that? Then you'd be able to see how it reacts. Okay, guys can download the repo, right? It's under my GitHub. Why am I so slow now? Yo, it's Kia Codes, ne? Kia Codes, how are you? Yo, my eyes. Cool. JS. Yo, why am I so JS calculator? JS calculator. You can find it under my profile. So let's start with that. Tim's gonna turn to think about me. That's lesson 5 now, right? Did we do lesson 5? No, we didn't. It ended at lesson 4. Uh, this is my advice. No, this is not on behalf of App Academy or FNB or anyone. This is me, Simphiwe's advice. Okay, not on behalf of anybody. Simphiwe, cool. So I think rather show your face because it would at least you need to have an inspiring story. Obviously, you saw what it said, so your story needs to be inspiring. And yeah, I think the AI part, you're not really showing yourself. You're not showing, you're not connecting with the with us. So this is Simpiwe, okay, Simpiwe. Yeah, so that's what I say. Rather use your face. I think that would be much better. Just don't beat this and this. Okay, cool. So I want where are we now? Post it. So if you want that air one, post it. Post it, see what it gets. You never know. That could be the winning one. Like, you never know. It's just the way. Oh, you did. Okay. I'll also check. Did you post it on TikTok? It's incredible. For the FNB App Academy, I attend. Ish, you have music. Damn. Let me just mute. uh, Sorry, YouTube. There was some music playing, so you know, can't play music on YouTube. Where are we? Let's continue. So we're now on number 5. Ish, if I show the email, are they gonna restrict me again? Okay, now we're gonna add event handlers for the operator buttons. Cool. So just to recap, what we've done so far, we created a function to append our values. Ish, I'm hearing myself. We created a function to append the values to the display. So whatever values a person presses, we show that on the display, right? And then what we also did here, we're checking to see if the display already shows a 0. When the user enters a number, we want to replace the 0 and add that specific number the person has added. And then if we get a decimal, we want to get the last number in the display. So whatever the number is, dot, and then you continue adding. Then we've got a variable here, a boolean, I'd say. So we've got this boolean, and this boolean checks if we've done a calculation yet. So we set it at the top to false, and then once a calculation is done, we'd set it to true, and after that back to false. So this is just to let us know that a calculation has been done or not. All right. Then here, this is just to clear the display. So when we clear the display, we set the display dot value to 0, set the just calculated to false. Then we have like a short background color change so people can actually visually see that change to say something actually happened. And then delete last is for backspace. So obviously think about all the letters. Thank you for the follow. So we think of the list. Where's that picture actually? Yeah, think of the numbers here as a list, and it's in an array. So once we have that list with an array, we want to delete the last because a person is backspacing from the right to the left. So we delete last, delete last, delete last, delete last. That's what the delete last was for. Then we've got calculate, which we haven't done anything yet. So if we run the function calculate, she's gonna do a console.log as well as show an alert. Then we've got this event listener here. This just listens for key downstrokes. So whenever someone actually presses on these certain keys, we do a specific function. So when someone presses on numbers from 0 to 9, we show that, we append that to the display. Then if they select any of these operators, we also append that to the display. Cool. And then we've got more of these special cases. Then this is just to run when the document is loaded. It's just for us to check if we actually loaded the calculator successfully. Cool. Now we're on number 5, which is the operator button. So this is smart operator handling. All right. Smart operator handling. So number 5, thank you for the follow. So number 5, we want to speak on input validation. So preventing possible operations, smart replacement, handling consecutive operations, as well as edge case handling. So what happens when someone presses multiple operators at the same time? So we need to be able to handle stuff like that. Cool. So the first function we'll do, let's go back to the top. We'll create a function to check if whatever is being selected is an operator, right? So to do that, we'll write function is operator, all right? And we expect a character. So short for character is char. So we just expect a character. And then here we want to return. So here we want to return the specific operator if it's included in this list. So we're going to create a list of operators that we are expecting, and then we will return it if it's included there. So the list we're checking is, we want to see plus, we want to see if there's a minus, want to see if there's a times, as well as divide. Okay, so those are the stuff we're checking. So we need to check dot includes. So if the character, thank you for the follow, if the character is one of these, then we know it is an operator, therefore it will return true. So we're just checking to see if we return an operator. All right, then let's create one function. This function will be to get the last character in the display. So this will be get last character, and we don't need anything. Then all we do here is we return the display dot value dot slice, and this will be -1 for the last number, the last value. Cool. So those are the two functions we just created. So these are the functions we're going to use just now. So now let's move into our append to display. Okay, we'll move into our append to display. So now we're working on operators. So we want to do some functions for the operators. So cool. After this specific if statement that checks if the number is not a number, we'll have another one here to check if we just calculated and the user presses on operator. We're building a calculator, this in JavaScript. Cool. So we'll do the same thing. We'll say if just calculated and, thank you for the follow, if just calculated and is operator. So we'll pass in the value here. So if it's just calculated, right, and it's an operator, we want to do the display dot value. Want to do display dot value and have the current value plus our value. Okay, and then we change just calculated. Thank you for the follow. It detected that live chat didn't. I do see my live chat though. Cool. So we're gonna just change that just calculated is false. All right, and then we return. So this will check to see if the we just calculated and the user already pressed a specific they pressed a specific operator, then we just continue with the result. All right. So now let's write a function to handle our operators specifically. So handles, cool. So this will handle our operators. So we'll have an if is operator, and we want to pass in the value. So if is operator is true, we want to not allow, we don't want to allow the operator as the first character, right? So what we'll do here is don't allow operator as first character. So this will be an exception for minus. So the only exception would be for a minus, because a minus would be for negative numbers. So we'd allow a minus to be the first character if we've got negative numbers, right? So what we'll do here is we'll say if our current value is equal to 0, if our current value is equal to 0 and the value is not equal to negative, then we do nothing. Okay, then we just return. So this is just us saying we do nothing. Cool. Sorry. And then now what we want to do is we want to check if the last character is already an operator. We replace it. All right. So now let's do this. Cool. So here we'll check if is operator, and then we want to get last character. So remember we did that function here, get last char. So this will get the last character of whatever's on the display now. So this is now where we're using it. We want to get the last character. After getting the last character, this will be returned into this is an operator. So it will check if it's an operator first. And then now we know. So we do our display dot value, and then we check thank you for the follow, current value dot slice, and we want to get the last part of the current value. So that would be 0, -1. Then we add it with our value. Okay, cool. And then else we just do our display dot value is equal to our current value plus value. All right, cool. So this will basically handle our operators. Okay, so whatever operators we'll get, this will handle all the operators within our display. All right, now let's move to the next part, which will handle our numbers. Thank you for the follow. So now we're checking if it's not a number, right? So if the display shows a 0, if oh we I think we did this part already. So that's here. Thank you for the hot me, Karabo. Thank you so much. God and the spirit of light. Okay, cool. We've got else if is not a number, then we do display dot value. Thank you for the follow. current value is equal to our 0, then we do display dot value. Yo, all the people are coming now. Yeah, right. I'm shy now. Thank you, Carabo. How's that not part of? I need to have like a hee haw for that or something. What are we coding? We're coding a calculator. So we're doing this calculator in JavaScript. Okay, so now we're handling our numbers here, right? So we're checking if it's not a number. So if the display shows a 0 and the user enters a number, we replace the 0, right? So to do that, we'll check if the current value is equal to 0, and then we change our display dot value, thank you for the follow, and equal to value. Then else we'll just calculate, add our display dot value with our current value. So we'll change our display dot value. Yes, we're making our calculator app. So this will be equal to our current value plus our value. That's if this is not applicable, right? Slightly to me simpler, it is adjustable. Thank you for the follow. Oh, the follows are just coming in. Cool. So now let's handle the decimal point. So this is what we already did, right? It's not wild, but it's, yeah, something at least we learning. Cool. So now we're handling our decimal point. So we did all of this. We're just now structuring it correctly. So thank you for the follow. So now what we're checking is we want to see our, can you Forex robot? No, I can't code a Forex robot. I can't code a Forex robot. So now we're checking our decimal point. So all we'll do is we'll say else if value is equal to our decimal point. Then this is JavaScript. Then what we'll do is we'll check if our current value is equal to 0. If it is, then we just do a display dot value and make it equal to our current value plus our value. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the follow. Okay, now we wanna do this specific part, the get last. Thank you for the follow. We wanna get the last number in the display and only add the decimal if the current number does not have one, right? So we're basically doing this in here now. Cool. So after this, sorry, my elastics. Okay, after this, all we have to do is we have to get the parts, right? So we'll have a variable first. Well, let's write it down so we can actually see. So we'll say get the last number in the display after last operator. All right. So now this will be getting the last number in the display after our last operator. Cool. So let's have a variable called parts. Thank you for the follow. It's equal to current value dot split. So it's basically what we have here. So this will now, us will be checking with our, yes, JavaScript. It's backward slash minus star. Cool. And then we do a dot. Thank you for the heart, me. Karabo sent hearts. Thank you, Karabo. Thank you, Karabo, for the hearts. I didn't even see. I'm not used to the big gifts, so I didn't set it up to make noise for those big gifts. You see? Thank you so much. So many. Yes, there's a lot of ifs here. Yo, there's a lot of ifs in here. But cool, let's continue. Let's try and see if we can split. All right. So we're making a variable called parts. Then we'll get another variable called last number. All right. So this is for us to get our last number. So to get our last number, it will be parts. We're checking our parts, and we'll use, thank you for the follow. Iffy code. Yes, it's iffy code. We'll do parts dot length -1. All right. Then we wanna only add decimal number doesn't already have one. So we only add a decimal if the number doesn't already have one. Bro, I think I must get to know you though. Sure, sure. Thank you, Garabo. Thank you, Garabo. What does else if mean? It means if the previous if operation was false, it moves to the next one. Does another comparison check, or it just checks if this is actually true, then it will try and execute the code within the um, the if statement. Then if that's also not true, it will go to the next else if to see if it can execute that code as well until it gets only to the last part, or until something is actually executed. Thank you, Karabo. Thank you, Karabo, so much. Why the catch it? Uh, I've coded it already, so I'm referencing my notes aside. So we've already basically we going through this. There's a whole lesson plan here. So we're going through this, and then I'm just helping people understand it. Modelized. Thank you so much, Karabo. I caught the level up, W level up, like W level up. I caught it. What level you on now? Actually, 16, eh? Was it 16? Okay, cool. Let us continue. Where were we? Last number. Cool. So here we only adding a decimal if the number doesn't already have one. So for us to do this, we'll do an if statement to check if the last number does not include or actually has a decimal, right? So last number dot includes a dot. Then if it doesn't have it, then only we will do a display dot value and have the current value plus the value. Heartbreak, court case and infidelity allegation. Hey, JavaScript is something else. Child custody, dichotomy, the way Joanna, you busy recording as well? 100% we can connect. Get the head out of the house. Aiden's more keeping and out of secret. She decided that she's leaving. Took off the thing. Okay, so this is what handles our operators, right? A co-pendant to co-parent to the kid is real. So we've got is operator, and then if this is false, it will check now if it's not a number and do the relevant checks. If not, it will check if it's a decimal, and then only if all of those fail, it will just add the value. So let us see what we've got so far. What we're doing to your second. Oh, lesson 5, right? Yeah, JavaScript is something else, guys. If something else, you need to. It has to be. It has to be. Let's see. So you see, we can't add multiple pluses. So let's just inspect. Let's clear it first. This is JavaScript. So if you see here, I'm able to clear this. Let me refresh. All right. So if you see here, we can we can't add a plus because there's a zero, right? There's already a zero. But if we add a number, then we can start plussing, right? Then can add more numbers. We can't add multiple pluses. You can add your minus, Thank you for the follow. You can add your divide, but you can't add a divide and a minus at the same time. So it will choose one operator at a time so that you don't have multiple operators. All right. Cool. So now I want us to do the equal button. So this was just us handling our operators. Thank you for the follow. This was us handling our operators. Just making sure that a person can't add JavaScript. I think JavaScript is throwing a lot of people off. Like it's throwing a lot of people off. And yeah, explaining it is also a bit. It's a bit. Oof. But this was lesson 5. Firstly, is there any questions before we move on? This was what operator buttons. Thank you for the follow. For this prophecy. Lesson 6 is equals button, right? Date to come be equals button. Okay, we're almost there. You're gonna see when you comment out using only above the verb as an instruction for you, just yes, it's just for you to read the code. This is not for the code itself. This is just to make your code readable, so that when someone else looks at your code, they can understand it. Oh, this, what this does, it handles operators. What this does, it doesn't allow first character and it does nothing. Then it's just for you to reference that. Oh, okay, this does that, so that whenever you come back to this code 5 years later, like, oh yeah, this does that, or someone else can understand what it does. Cool. Yeah. So kind of like let's see. Are we good? Oh, we are. Okay. Let's quickly add. Ish, it is difficult. I'll try and do recaps again over this. No, you don't have to end it with another double forward slash at the end. It's already so. We don't need that. This thing is just complicating code. So now we've got equals button. Oof. This is some serious expressions here now. Yo, this one is crazy. Why did it make it so complicated? But it's fine. Let's continue. Let's move. So far song. Born in a clan, decided religion, Alright, so now we're now on lesson 6, which is the equals button. So first thing here, we want to create an we want to create a function that will safely evaluate our calculations, right? So why we're using safety evaluation, we've got some error handling in case the calculations fail, and we want to make our numbers look good. So what is this? Oh, okay, cool. Let's move on. That's lesson 6, right? Cool. So the first thing we need to do here is we need to have a function which will do our safe evaluation, right, for our mathematical expressions. So the first thing we'll have is function, and then this function will be safe eval. So this will just be a safe evaluation, and then we'll have expression. So this will be the expression we'll be adding in here. So if it's 20 times whatever, we'll be adding the expression in there. Cool. So we'll be using a try catch, right? So what a try catch does is it expects an error and it catches the error to handle it more gracefully, right? So what I mean by that is if you are expecting that you might get an error in a specific function, you do a try catch to catch that error and handle it in a much better way. So if you know that something may go wrong here, I might get this error, then I just want to show something to the user, or I want to do something when that error actually happens. So that's what the try catch is for in the most simple way possible I could explain. So we'll have a variable in this try catch. Oh, to get this try catch, you can just search in VS Code, you can say try, and you'll see try catch right there. Then click on enter, then it will show the try catch. Cool. Now, here we'll have a let JS expression, right? Equal our expression up here, the variable we just created up there. All right. Then what we want to do with this expression, we want to replace any of the times as this as times, right? Then we also want to replace the divided with divide. So replace, I don't have to divide it though. Divide it and with that. Thank you for the follow. Cool. So this is just for us to do our JS expression. So if we get any of these, we replace them with that. So if someone adds an X, it will replace it with star. If we get a divide symbol, we'll replace it with forward slash. So this is so we have a safe expression, right? Then we've got regex expression where we check to allow only numbers, operators, decimal points, and parentheses, right? For us to do that, we'll have an if. What's my thing now typing? We'll have an if. Thank you for the follow. Then in this if, we'll have an exclamation mark to say not, then forward slash, and the cap above the 6. Okay, so it's a cap above the cap above the 6. Then you'll have square brackets. So now we're adding our expression in here. So we want to get numbers from 0 to 9, right? We want to get numbers from 0 to 9. We want to get symbol plus, um, as well as minus. Where's minus? And then also star, and then it's minus, right? Minus star, as well as our dot and some parentheses. Cool. So this is for us to check if any of these are not what we're getting, then we've got invalid characters. So here we'll do this and have a plus dollar sign. All right, then forward slash dot test. Cool. Then we're testing our JS expression. So what this is doing, it's now going to check within this expression we gave it to say these are the only valid expressions or valid characters we're looking for. If in our expression these characters are not there, that means we've got an invalid expression. Okay, so the dot test now expects what you want to test against this validation, and it will now test to say, okay, is anything in this expression related to this, and it will return a bool of true or false. So if it's true, and therefore we want to check if it's false, making this true, then we throw an error. So now us throwing an error is basically what we want to add in this catch here. So we're throwing an error to say we want to catch that error being thrown in our catch block. So we'll just say throw new error, and this error will have the description of what happened or what was wrong in here. So what was wrong is there was invalid characters in the expression. So that's the error basic. So you say invalid characters in expression. So we're just telling the user that the characters that you added were invalid. Maybe they added a percentage sign which we're not allowing. So that's an invalid expression. That's part of an invalid expression. So that's what happens there, right? Then now we want to have a function to a function constructor for safer evaluation other than eval. So there's a function called eval which is not the safest to use. So we can just do a const. This will be a constant of results. So this will be our result, and then we want to have function, and in here we want to use. So what you'll do, you'll have small quotes, single quotes, then you'll have double quotes, and in the double quotes you'll add use strict. All right, then you return. So now you'll return the actual expression. So when I use strict mode and return the expression, so it will be return, then outside the single quotes. So your use strict must be in double quotes. So your use strict will be in double quotes like that. Then you have your semicolon, and then after that you'll have return. We want to return the value or the expression, right? So to do that, we'll say plus. Thank you for the follow. We'll say plus JS expression plus, and we close off our return, right? So we're going to return the JS expression in there. So this is gonna you be able to set our result correctly. All right. Okay. And then outside of this, you just have your other parentheses. So this is to do your function. Then you close it with your semicolon. That's for your results. So now you want to check for invalid results, right? So you'll do an if statement to check if is finite, right? So this is check whether the number you've supplied is finite. Okay. So we're gonna put the value or the result in here and do a check. Then if it's not, therefore if it's false, we'll make this expression true so that we can run this. So we'll throw a new error, and the error we'll throw here is invalid calculation result. All right. It's a lot. Yes, I'll try and make it downloadable. Thank you for the rose. How did I not hear that? I've been running. I didn't hear it actually. This is JavaScript. We're doing a calculator. This. All right. So that's the try block. Now we want to do our catch block. So now let's handle the catch of the error. So we'll just console.log or console.error rather, because we canceling an error. Then we want to show calculation error and what the error is. So you just do comma error. So that will now show the error that we're getting from our try block. Then you can just return, and you return the string error. It takes some time. It does take some time. This is just for safety evaluation, right? So that's all we did to evaluate safely, right? we're still gonna write the function to actually do our calculation now. So that's just for us to do a safe evaluation. Cool. Are we done copying this part? Can we move to the next part? Never did. How does yours look like? Oh, I'm sure you followed what's this IT varsity route. Okay, I'll continue. So I think we're done here. Let's move to the calculate. So now we're working in here, right? What is the function of console.log? It's for debugging purposes. So you see here, it's so that you can see logs of what's happening. So you just console.log debug logs basically. Yeah, you're just adding. Try and catch up, like watch the videos and ask for help. There's a lot of people out there actually offering help. We're here to help as well. So just watch the videos to be able to catch up, because time is running out, but you still have time. So incorporate this time. Cool. So this is what the console.log is. It's just to help developers debug issues, potential issues, or actually see if values are actually coming through etc. That's what we're using it for. Okay, so let's replace our calculate function. Let's start writing our calculate function, right? ASCII's. I didn't go through IT Varsity's one. I just looked at what they were expecting here and did it according to the just. I just split it up into lessons according to how they did. I didn't watch any of their videos, so maybe I went a bit complex as well. Maybe I should release another video, me doing it again, simpler. Maybe I can do that actually. Yeah, actually, let's do that also. Because I think, yeah, I might have confused you all. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. But let's continue. Let's finish what we started. Trying to teach y'all the new ways. I'm sorry. Cool. So let's do a variable to get our expression. So we'll do a let expression be equal to our display dot value. So whatever's currently on our display dot value, or whatever's currently on our display is what we set into our expression. So if there's a 40 times 2, that's what we're capturing and setting to expression, right? So obviously we don't want to calculate if the display is 0 or empty. So don't calc if display is 0 or empty. Shouldn't be empty because we have some validation on that. Yo, this is so right. No, yeah, follow one, but I'll try and go. Hence, I say I'll do another video. Like I'll just release a video, not a live. I'll just do a video of me doing a simpler version. I'll try and watch theirs and see what they did. Then yeah, we'll do that. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're just making sure we don't calculate if our expression has a 0, if it's 0 or empty. So we'll just do if expression is equal to our 0 or expression is equal to empty. All right, so that's what we're checking there. If so, we just want to return, meaning nothing must happen, so we just return high tie. And yeah, then we obviously don't want to calculate if our expression ends with an operator. So don't if expression ends with operator. So this is just, we're not going to do a calculation if someone has said 20 plus 5 plus enter. So it's ended with an operator, so we shouldn't be calculating. So we're going to do an if is operator, and then we get the last character of that. So whatever the last character would be, obviously, if it's the last character is a plus, then we get that plus, and then if it's an operator which is true, then we want to just return, meaning do nothing. Are we on lesson 6? 6 out of 7. Cool. So now let's do the actual expression now. Thank you for the follow. Oh, dot key is, yeah, this is cosmetic. This is cosmetic. Yeah, I'm trying to teach you stuff, guys. You will thank me. You will thank me. This is just cosmetic ish. But yeah, if you watched yesterday is Mon- Monday, ne? Monday's live, you'd understand it much better, I think. Okay, cool. So now let's talk calculation, right? So we'll do a let result, right? This will be equal to safe eval. So we want to safely evaluate our expression, right? Then what we want to now do is handle errors. So if result is equal to error, thank you, Tippy, sir. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so we're gonna check, we're gonna do display dot value, right? No, a return basically, what the return does is basically it stops the entire operation and returns nothing, right? So it's to say if someone press enter, but there's an operator at the end, we're just gonna return nothing because we're not doing an actual calculation. So we don't want the steps to continue. We don't want the code to continue running all the way to the next part. Cool. So now we're just gonna change the display.value to show error. Okay. And then we'll just have a set timeout. This will be 2 seconds. Then we want to clear the display after 2 seconds. All right. So we'll show the error, then clear the display after 2 seconds. Cool. Then we have an else statement. So if everything is fine, we're gonna do a if number dot is integer. Here we wanna now check the result. If the result is an integer. If so, we'll do display dot value and have our result to a string. So whatever the result is, have it as a string so we can show it. Okay. Then if not, so if it's not a integer, then what we want to do is display dot value, which will be equal to our pass float. So this now changes our, basically we know we got a decimal number because someone put what is 0.2 plus 1. So we now having a floating number. We're going to convert this into a string. So we're going to pass the number into a float, right? So we're going to do result dot to fixed. So we're going to just fix it to the 10th, right? So to fixed. My JavaScript is still nonsense, but sure. And then we do to string. Okay, so this will get the result, then have it as a fixed number. Why result? Where's result? Save val. Yeah, it's fine. Let's leave it like that. We'll see. Then do dot to string. Cool. Then we'll have, after this, we'll have a, that variable. Remember that variable just calculated. We'll set it to true because we just done we done a calculation. So since we just done a calculation, we set it to true. Then let's have some display visual feedback for a person to see what's happening. So we'll do a display dot style dot background. So display dot style dot background color is equal to hashtag, it's what, E8 E8F5 E8. Cool. So this is display.style background color is equal to that. And what we're doing is just so we can show the user so we can show the user like some color in the background of the result so they can just see it for a second. Then we do a set timeout. So you'll see it here, set timeout with this block. You can click on it, it will automatically populate it for you. And then we'll set the timeout to like 300 milliseconds. And then we do the display dot style dot background color and set it back to nothing. So it's back to whatever it was on. All right. And yeah, that is the calculator button or calculator enter button done. Let's see what we have. 20 plus 7. So there we got, yeah, is it this two fixed? I could see it's not doing the things. Result. I spelled result right. Yeah, you can put you can reference an HTML document and actually add the styling in JavaScript. Result. Where is it a string? How is it a string? How is it a string by the time it gets here actually? Okay. So this to fixed is doing nonsense. Not so bad, so bad. Cut the devil. Thank you for the follow. You're still doing zoo. Yo. I just thank you for the follow. I go judge. I'm not judger. I'm not judger you. I'm not judger you. No, they're the same. Results. Yeah, if you're still on zoo, yo, they all the same. What did I make incorrect? Let's see. Oh, Apungane, buff. Yes, sir. Unjani. Team cool. Pay attention. Let me just see this. Can open fixed it is clear. Ah, all good, all good. Team cool. No, what? Result. I think you need to have access to um that LMS thingy. What did I break now? Mm. Different toxin. Yeah, I should make it to the secret load. It says uncode type error cannot read dot to fixed. You see, this dot to fixed is confusing me because it should be get the gas. Give it SMS get should not ship bad. This and that, this and that. Yeah. Let's go. With that check, with that check. Yeah. Forget. So it's this calcul. Wait, let me see the spot. God, though. Maybe what should do? Make a hard for me to save. It's contagious. Drop the location. Where your mask? Where you at? Yeah, the masquerade party. Hit the gas. Yeah, the masquerade party. Hit the gas. Yes, sir. Okay. So far. Look at it. I think I see my problem. Don't you ever get the um I think I see my problem. Down back the top floor. Because it washed up. It's because we didn't return results. Recollect get hash s. There we go. Down back top floor. Yes, now we got it. Wow. You see? Yeah, coding guys. Okay, so we didn't do any changes. We just had to return our actual result here. So we return our result after the if statement in the try. Thank you for the follow. We're creating a calculator. Okay, cool. That was the calculation stuff. So that works. If everyone has followed, then we should be together. That was lesson 5. Are there any questions? Yes, we are coding. What is it? It's lesson 6, right? Equals button. GitHub is not supported where? Okay, guys, are we good? When you say new group, what do you mean? Okay, let's move on to the last part, the fun part. Let's move on to the fun part, making it look very nice. The part you've been waiting for. If you did everything correctly, we should be 17. You're on Mac. I didn't know that. First lesson. Uh I think the next one is next year. They'll start it again, the App Academy. So you just look for FNB App Academy, but you can also recap on YouTube. All their stuff on YouTube as well as my YouTube channel. The content is still there. You can recap and you'll be able to understand and learn. Okay, guys, cool. We're now on the last part where we're just adding our styling. Let's go to our CSS. Let's make this happen. Cool. So obviously have our margin and padding. Then we'll have box sizing. Yes, FNB App Academy. Box sizing of border box. Cool. That's our global styling. Okay. So let's do our body. Okay. We'll do mine is what? Apple. Oh, I'm not on my Mac right now. Ah, damn. Okay. I guess we'll just do what is it? Segoi. Look, I'm not even doing the right thing, guys. You guys are not telling me. Font family. Let's see, maybe it's here. Oh, it is there. Cool. I want Apple system. So I want Apple system. Then you want Blink Mac system font. Then Sego UI. Then you want Roboto. And then Sans Serif. Okay. So those are that's the font family we'll be using. So you can already see how it looks so far if you can tell the difference. Thank you so much. 100% can hit me up. Yeah, can discuss. So let's add so we want to have this background color, right? So let's just add a background color or background. This will be a linear gradient. Then we'll just do 135 degrees. And then the color, the start color will be hashtag, thank you for the follow, 667 EEA. We have it at 0%. And then we also want not star 0%. Then we also want hashtag 7764 BA2. So that's like a darker purple. This will be 100%. Okay, that's our background. Then let's do our minimum height. Minimum height will be 100 view height. So we wanted to take the entire view, the view height. Then we'll have a display flex. Okay, and justify our content to the center. Thank you, Chichi. Thank you so much. Appreciate you so much. We'll align our items to the center, and then we'll have a padding of 20 pixels. This is across the board. Thank you so much, Chichi. Cool. So that's our body. Now let's do our main calculator container. So we already have a function, a class here, dot the calculator, right? So we'll just use dot calculator, right? So in dot calculator, we'll start with a background. So our background will be RGBA. Then we'll have a white 255, 255, 255. Then the alpha key will be 0.95. So this is the transparency. Okay. Then we'll have a backdrop filter of blur, and the blur will have 10 pixels radius. Okay. Oh, excuse me. After this, sorry, we'll have a border radius. So we want to have a curved calculator, right? So a border radius of 20 pixels, and then we do a box shadow. So in this box shadow, we'll have, I don't know it all. You research, you research, don't know it all. But as with practice, you get to remember certain things. Okay, what we're doing, our box shadow. So our box shadow will be of 0. So that's our blur. Sorry, that's our horizontal effect. Then we'll have a 20 pixels on our vertical effect. Then 40 pixels will be the blur of the actual shadow. Then RGBA for our color. We'll have 0, 0, 0, and then a 0.1. So it's like a dark with the transparent, so transparent black basically. So that's our shadow, right? But we want to add just the second part in the shadow. So we'll have a second shadow with a 0 horizontal effect, 0 vertical effect, as well as 1 pix. Sorry, is it 0? 0 pixels, and then you've got 1 pixels of the blur. Then RGBA. So RGBA is just red, green, blue, alpha, as you can see here. So that's how make up colors. So this time we want a white. So it'll be 255, 255, 255, and then a 0.2 alpha key. Okay. So this is how it looks. It's like a gray. So you'll also see these numbers here. If you ever wanted to set it yourself, you can just set it. Then you'll end up seeing what the actual, not yet, but we will get to that. I will be teaching Firebase soon as well. Cool. So we've got this is the code basically you see here. That's your alpha key. So that's your transparency of the actual color. Ish. 0.2. Cool, that's our box shadow, okay? Then we'll have padding of 25 pixels. And after padding, we'll have a width with 100%. So we want to take up 100% width and a max width of 320. Max width 320 pixels. So basically what we're saying is this can take up the full width, but we want the max width of the actual container to take up 320 pixels, not more than 320 pixels. Cool. And then we'll add a transition here. So this transition will just do a transform. And the transform, thank you for the follow. The transform will last for 0.3 seconds and we'll have it eased. Cool. So now for us to have this transition to be into effect, what transition we want to do is want to do it on hover. Thank you for the follow. So we'll do our calculator and our pseudo code, or not pseudo code, but our pseudo classes, which is on hover. So what we're saying is when a user hovers over this calculator, we want to do a specific function. So we'll do a transform since we actually done the transition of transform. Then translate y is for us to translate or move our actual container on the y-axis. So we wanted to move -5 pixels, which is downwards. Sorry. All right, cool. So that's our calculator. So let's just go see what we have so far. So this is what we have so far, right? So we've done our background, we've done the calculator itself to have rounded corners and the background color of the calculator. Now we want to do the actual display, this part, right? So we want to now work on this display part. Thank you for the follow. So let's get that part done. So now we'll do dot display. Then in the dot display, we'll just have a margin at the bottom, 20 pixels margin bottom. And then let's work on the actual display input, right? Because in our display, we've got an input class. So let's work on this input class. So since we don't have a class name on it, we can just say display and then we say input because we targeting the input for all these changes, right? So this input should take up a width of 100%, and then the height of this should be 38 pixels. Then we'll have no border, so border none. Then after border none, we'll have a background for the actual input display, and the background would be hashtag F8 F9 FA. So this is the background of the display input. So that's it there. So you don't see anything at the moment, right? Cool. So the next part we'll just have a border radius for this display. So it'll be 15 pixels. Then we have a font size. We'll do 18 pixels. See if that's too okay. Maybe 24. Okay, 24 pixels should be fine. So we'll do 24 pixels. Then we do a font weight. We'll have 300 for the font weight, and text align. We'll align the text to the right so that it comes from the right as people typing all the way to the left. Okay. Then we'll have padding. Padding will be 0.20 px, so that's your vertical and horizontal effects, right? Then the color of the text would be hashtag 2C3E50. Hashtag 2C3E50, which is this color. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Cool. Then we do a box shadow. Thank you for the follow. So the box shadow will be for the actual input display. So we'll have inset, so inside 2 pixels and then 10 pixels. So 0 is horizontal, 2 vertical, 10 pixels will be the blur radius, and then we've got RGBA, and this will be a dark color, so 000 0.1. And then we'll add a transition as well for this. The transition for this will be for all 0.3 seconds, and we'll want it eased. Cool. So let's see what we have so far. So that's what I have. You see that inset makes that it makes that thing look like it's inside. The shadow is inside and not out. So it's an in shadow. That's what the inset is for in the box shadow. Okay. Cool. Now let's do our let's add our pseudo class for the actual display input. So we'll do dot display input, and then we want to do a focus. So when someone clicks on the display like this, right? When someone clicks on it, we want to do something to that. So for us to do that, we'll do display input colon focus, and then we want outline to be none. Then we want the background to be white. F. Then we'll have a box shadow. Then this box shadow will be inside, so inset 0, 2 pixels, 10 pixels, then RGBA of 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.1. Cool. So that's our in shadow. Then we'll have one more inside, which will be 0, 0, 0, 3 pixels, and then RGBA. This will have as 102, 126, 234, and then 0.3. So this is this color right here. Okay, that's our box shadow for inside. So now if we focus, if we click on it and focus, so you see when we click on it, this is how it looks now. All right, that's basically what we have done there. Okay, now let's do the next part, which is the buttons layout. So for the buttons, we do dot buttons because we already have a container of buttons right there. And now we want to do grid, right? So we'll have it as a display grid because we gonna have the buttons as a grid. So they'll be in a grid format like this. Cool. Then we'll do grid template columns. And what we want is a repeat. So we'll repeat it 4 and each will take 1 frame. Okay. Then the rows, the grid template rows is gonna be a repeat and 1 5 with all frame of 1. Okay, and then each have to have a gap of 12 pixels and the height of each of them will be 400 pixels each. So this is what we have so far. So you see, just like that, this is what we have. So all it done, it took all our columns, it took it into 4 columns, which is 1 2 3 4, which is what you see here. So it repeated 4 columns. Then what it done, it then split it into 5 rows, 1 2 3 4 5, which is what we have here, repeat 5, and they're all taking 1 frame each. Okay, so that's how we now have this. So we're getting closer to our final calculator. Mm, let me see here. It's actually very big. I used to be, yes, no one is looking so weird. That's it. Just update this to 80 pixels, the height. Take the height to 80 pixels. I don't know why I put the 8. I could see it's not looking the same there. There we go. Cool. So also you see as we hover over this calculator or tap on it, it moves up a bit. So that's what's happening there. Cool. Let's move down back to our buttons. So this is our buttons. We're done with our buttons. This is what we have so far. Now let's just style it a bit more. Then we want to do a .btn. So this is going to be for each of these specific buttons. So we're going to be styling these specific buttons. All right. So for us to do that, we'll have a border of none. So no border on these buttons. Thank you for the follow. We have no border. And then each will have a border radius of 15 pixels. Then font size will have 14 pixels. That's actually small. Let's do 20 pixels. Yeah, much better. So this is what we have so far with the buttons. How many hours on? 1 hour. How much am I on here? Any lesser, man? I can second guess the man. Like a Pepsi can. This the jam. Nick the jam. So I ride for me like a Manchester fan. X and dance. We're currently on 1 hour 48. Okay, we're gonna finish soon. We're gonna finish just now. Cool. So now we're doing our buttons. So we have no border radius of 15 pixels and a font size of 20 pixels. And then we'll add a font weight, and our font weight will be 500. Then we'll change our cursor to be a pointer. When someone hovers over it, will be a pointer. Then we'll add transition for all of 0.2 seconds and eased. Okay. Then we'll have a box shadow. This box shadow will have 0 horizontal effect, 4 pixels vertically, 15 pixels blur radius, RGBA, and this RGBA will be 0, 0, 0, 0.1. Cool. That's our box shadow. Then the position will be relative, and we'll have no overflow. So overflow will be hidden. So that will be your ellipsis. I don't have. Thank you, Karabo, for the. Oh, she left. I didn't even see the rose. Thank you. I didn't see the rose. Cool. That's our button. So this is how our button looks so far. Thank you for the follow. That's how our button looks so far, as you can see. Cool. So let's move on. Now what we're doing is .btn hover. So when someone hovers over a button, we want to transform our translate Y and move it -2 pixels. And then a box shadow when someone hovers. So the box shadow will be 0, 8 pixels vertically, 25 pixels for the blur radius, and then RGBA will have 0, 0.0, 0.15. Okay, so how it looks so far is I can't hover in this mode. So this is how it looks. So you see the shadow coming up. It looks like the buttons are coming up. So that's what we have there. Even the calculator, as we hover, it moves up. So that's what we done there. Cool. So the next part is our .btn active. So when it's active, meaning I think if it's CSS, yes, CSS. So if you've selected it, we'll have transform of translate Y and 0. Then we have a box shadow. Thank you for the follow. This will be 0, 2 pixels on the vertical effect, then 10 pixels blur radius, RGBA, and this will be our 0, 0, 0, 0, and then we'll have a 0.2 alpha mode. Okay, cool. So that's what we have so far. So you see, as you press it, that's what you were basically doing. So when it's active, meaning it's being pressed, this is that effect that's happening. It looks like it's actually being pressed, as you can see, right? So that's the idea behind that. Cool. I hope we're still good. Now the next part we want to do the button click animation. So .btn, and we want to have a before. So this is for us to do some animation to our button. So do btn double colon. So you want to have 2 of them and have a before. So the content will be empty. Then we'll have a position of absolute, and top must be 50%, and then the left will be 50%. Oh, I saw. And then we'll have a width of 0 and a height of 0. So this is what we will have before the button um, is activated, right? Then we've got a background of translate sorry, of RGBA, and we want 255. Ish, why did I use that one? RGB 255. 255, 255, 255, and then we want 0 0.3. So not same as. Then we'll have a border radius of 50%, and then transform. And our transform will be a translate, not a translate X or Y, just translate of negative 50% and then negative 50%. Can't look into. These are for these specific pseudo classes. So certain pseudo classes use the double. So as you can see, you've got after, backdrop, before. All of these different pseudo classes is they use double colons. All right, that's our after our transform. Then we've got our transition. Then with our transition, we'll transition the width 0 0.3 seconds ease, and then the height of 0 0.3 seconds ease. So this is us saying the transition will be on our width and height. So we're gonna set the transition now. So we're gonna do .btn active and then before. So now we'll do our width to be 100% and our height to be 100%. Okay, so let us see what we have so far. So do you see it's a bit minor? I don't think you can really see it, but if you can see when it's active what happens. So that's that animation happening there. That's the animation happening right there. So if you see that, so that's what it's doing. So it's just some cosmetic stuff. Cool. We're still together, right? We're gonna end it soon. 100%. Perfect. We're almost done. We're almost done. So let's do our number buttons. So we'll do .btn .number. So this is for the buttons that we have that have a class of number. So these ones that have a class of number. Cool. So for us to do this, we'll have a background with the linear gradient, and this will be 145 degrees, and we'll have white as well as hashtag F0 F0 F0. Cool. And then the next part is the color of the text. Color of the text will be hashtag 2C3E50 and a border. So this will just have a border around the actual buttons. The border will be 1 pixel solid and the color will be RGBA 000.0.1. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So it's just adding this border around it for each of the numbers only, because we're still gonna do separate styling for these, right? So that's what we're on so far. Oh, okay, then let's change the on hover for this button. So .btn and then .number, then on hover. On hover, we want to change the background to linear, oh, not background, kind of background, to a linear gradient, 145 degrees. And this should be hashtag F8, F9, F8, F9, FA, and then hashtag E9. It's E9 EC, E9 EC EF. That's on hover. So that's the color. I hope we can see that. So this, as you can see, this effect is only happening on the numbers, the specific color, because we set specific classes to those. Cool. Let's move on to the next part. This will be our operators now. So .btn .operator. Then here we'll have a background with a linear gradient. The linear gradient of 145 degrees. Okay, cool. 145 degrees, and then we've got the color, which is FF6B6B. So these are operators color, and then we'll also have hashtag EE5A 52. Zuchi Coke dope. He's the dealer. The color of the text will be white, and then we'll have a font weight of 600. So that's what we have so far. So only the operators have this color. So this is where we are so far. Then let's do that btn hover. So on hover, we want a background, linear gradient, 145 degrees, hashtag FF5252, then hashtag, this is E5, E53, E53935. So this is what the color will be on hover. Then let's do our clear button. Clear, thank you for the follow. Remember the clear button is is our AC. So this is .btn .clear. So here we'll just have a background, and this will use a linear gradient as well, 145 degrees, hashtag FFA 726, and then this will be hashtag FF9800. This is the color for the AC button. Then we'll just change the text to white, and then after that we do a font weight, so it'll be 600, then a font size 1.2 em. So it just makes it a bit bigger than the rest. This is what we have so far, right? All right, then let's do a button clear hover. So when someone hovers over this button, just want to change the background color to be a darker color. Linear gradient 145 degrees, and this will be hashtag FF9800, then a hashtag F57. Thank you for the follow. F57C00. So this is just a darker color. Cool. Then our equals button. So we need to now do our equals button. So oh, just let's just see. So this is how it looks now. Cool. That's our equals button. I mean our clear button. So let's do our equals button. So this is .btn.equals, right? So here we'll have a background. Let's see what finest ones quickly. Hope I don't lose my people though. Okay, now let's continue. Did it add him? Yeah, I'm teaching. Away. Okay, now what's happening? Ooh. Oh, we sorted it now. Yeah, I'll post the recording. Ooh, my thing is broken now. Oh, my back. Perfect. Once again, once again, once again. Okay, we're doing our equal button, right? So do a background. The background will have a linear gradient, and this linear gradient will be 145 degrees, and the color will be the that green, so it will be 4CAF 50, and then we'll have hashtag 43 A047. Then color white, because we want the text to be white. Then the font weight will be 600. Then here, what we want now, the grid, we want to do a grid row, right? So remember what we did here. What's happening here now? Okay, cool. It's fine. What we did here, what did you see in zip? I even forgot now. Guys, remind me, where did we do oh, there's it right here. I'm so blind. So you see we added this row span 2. So now we want to be able to actually add this onto 2 rows, right? So what we'll do now is we'll have grid row and then span it for 2 rows. And then our font size can be 20 pixels. So you'll see now, you see, it spans across 2 rows. So that's what this does. That's how we get it to actually now be on 2 rows instead of 1. Hope we together there. Then let's just do a dot hover for the equals. Just one dot button. Cool, so this will just be a background, the linear gradient, 145 degrees. We want hashtag 443, and then this will be hashtag 388EC E3C. Then that's how we've got this darker color on hover. So this is what we have so far. Cool. Then let's do our 0 button. So we need to now fix our 0 button to be take up this space. Ooh, excuse me. Want our 0 button to take up the space. So just for us to do that, it's gonna be dot btn dot 0. Then all we do is do a grid column, and we say span for 2 columns. So we're just telling it to take up 2 columns, just like that. If you wanted it to take up 3, maybe you didn't have this, it would take up 3 columns. So yeah, that's how we did that part. And then we can add a loading animation for our calculator when it starts up. So we can just do keyframes. Then we say fade in up. So we'll just do from. So we're saying just start from an opacity of 0, and then translate Y to 30 pixels. Cool. And then we'll do a 2 opacity of 1 and transform our translate Y. Thank you for the follow to 0. This is just a fade up. So on load up it will fade up. Then for it to be activated, thank you so much Gtrend. For it to be activated, we just do dot calculator again, and we just add an animation. The animation will be fade in up, what we just created, for 0.6 seconds, and we want it to ease out. Cool. And then let's see what we have so far. So as you see, as it loads up, it fades in. So let's see, 773 divided by 2. So you saw that nice subtle so that little green that pops up is some visual effect for a person to see that something is actually happening. So we can add some more, but I think yeah, we've got enough. There's more here, like for your success dates as well as shake. Maybe we can do shake. Where do we use shake? No, we're good. This is it. This is it. This is it. Yeah, we're done with our calculator. Are we good? Any questions? Happy with the calculator? 20 plus 5 equals. Ah, did equals do. Huh? Oh, I was about to say. Divided by 2 plus 24 times 10 times 67. Oh, do you want to get the icon? Backspace. Okay. So I found it. Where is it? Yeah, there's it. So I just copy it there. Then we'll go to our, where we have Dell and show that. There you go. So you can just search for backspace symbol text and then you'll find it there. Cool. What is EM again? Oh, sorry. EM is basically your uh EM is like your current font size. So where did we use EM again? EM. So this is basically whatever our font size we've used previously. So an example is if we had a font size of 20 pixels, our one EM would be 20 times 1 0.5 EM would be basically 0.5 times 20. So our 2.5 EM is going to be 2.5 times 20 basically. It's just making it bigger, but all you could have done here is have, what was it? We had 16. Let's just do 50 pixels. So as you can see, still got the same thing. Perfect. We're done. We're done. Here's your calculator. Can have this. Can let's actually. Yo. Can you guys hear the snoring? I'm sure YouTube can hear it. Where's voice isolate on this cam thingy? Yo, that is crazy. YouTube, are you good? Yeah, so you've got a calculator. You can host this on wherever. Let's actually just add this lesson 7. Uh Calculator styling, and I will be the greatest because I came like a dream. Can you add us how to add exponents? I've never added exponents myself. I would have to do research. Now the roles are reversed. Uh, yeah, yeah. So calculate exponent method pow. Base and exponent, let base, calculate exponent. Thank you for the follow. Can I clarify? Hey, hey, shit. Ito fin ite 6. Some get to the shop. Okay, I don't know how we'll do this, but here it is. It's a sub element to the top. It's constraint. So cool. Yeah, okay, I'll just do my research and then we'll do that. Cool. No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm tired, guys. Besides that, I'll try to do that for you. Oh yeah. Oof. Are there any questions? Any questions, comments, quiz, concerns? But yeah, we'll do it for you, Bangani. We push. So if you want to get the repo's under my account. Yo, I didn't commit yesterday. I lost my streak. Ish. I just do a streak again. Okay, guys. Cool. That's it. That's it. Thank you, guys, so much. Appreciate you guys. See you guys. Will I see you all tomorrow? Do you want to do something tomorrow? So I know if I should go live or not. Am I doing anything tomorrow? Yes, I will teach backend as well. We're just trying to follow this curriculum. So they're still currently here. So backend should be from next week. Okay, guys. No one is saying anything. We'll end it there. Means I'm not coming live tomorrow, right? Right? Why does not want to move? It's a pleasure, Lady Z. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for 20K likes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you everyone that viewed, everyone that gifted, and people that are still here. Thank you, YouTube. Appreciate you guys. We shall see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Friday. Yeah, Friday, I guess. So cool. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys. Shows in a where did you see my projects? Oh, my projects I use Tailwind. Where is it? I use Tailwind and Next.js. So yeah, then this is obviously Flutter. What's another one? This was used with React and yes, React. Yo, my network is freezing. To you, to you, to you, to you, to you. Yeah, man. Okay, cool, guys. Oh, I'm not even showing you. Ah, I honestly thought I'm showing you. I just realized we were on the thumbnail. I'm busy showing you nothing. But it's fine, you can just search Simphiwe Radebe. You'll find my portfolio there on Google and then yeah, you'll see all my projects. Thank you so much, guys. Goodbye, YouTube. Tune in next time. Oh, please don't forget what to do. Please don't forget to please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah.